Evolution. We hear this term in contexts ranging from politics to economics to innovation. But what exactly is evolution? Evolution is actually a term from biology. Overall, evolution means the change of a population over the course of multiple generations. So the question is, how do populations change? Well, one main cause for evolution is natural selection. Natural selection was first devised by the English naturalist Charles Darwin. He came up with his theory of natural selection during his voyage to the Galapagos Islands in the 1830s. According to his theory, nature acts upon a population that contains genetic variation. This type of variation comes from mutations. A mutation is an alteration in an organism's genes. When cells grow and duplicate, they need to copy their genetic material in the form of DNA. However, DNA duplication is not always perfect, and some errors do result. Sometimes these errors can result in significant changes to the organism's overall appearance or to some of their bodily functions. Since we are discussing genes, let's go over a couple of definitions: genotype and phenotype. An organism's genotype is its particular coding of genes. An organism's phenotype is the expression of those genes. Think of mutations in terms of writing an essay. When we write an essay, we are bound to make some grammatical and punctuation errors here and there. We can think of genotypes and phenotypes based on how we spell and pronounce words. For instance, the word color is written as color. The letters in color represent the genotype. The way we pronounce the word color is its phenotype. If we change the spelling of color to this, we change the genotype, since the spelling is different. However, we pronounce the word the same way as color, which makes the phenotype the same. If we change the spelling of color to this, we change the genotype of color. We also change the word's phenotype, since the pronunciation changes to colon, which is a different word. Natural selection acts on mutations that change the expression of a gene. As a result, we will focus on mutations that change an organism's phenotype. Now that we have an understanding of mutations, let's see how nature acts upon them. Here, I have a bowl of yellow Skittles with a purple one mixed in with them. Personally, I enjoy eating yellow Skittles. As a result, I'm going to eat them and leave the purple one alone. I will do this for 10 seconds. Now that the 10 seconds are over, let's look at the remaining Skittles. Notice how there are fewer yellow Skittles. Now, for every Skittle color remaining, I'm going to add a Skittle of the same color. Now I'm going to eat some more Skittles. Let's continue the same process that we did earlier. Notice how the total amount of yellow Skittles decreases, while the total amount of purple Skittles increases. In our demonstration, each Skittle represented an organism in a population. The yellow Skittles were the main types of phenotypes in the population, where their genes coded for the yellow color. Conversely, the purple Skittle experienced a mutation in its genotype, where its gene expression gave it the purple phenotype. The table represented the environment for our Skittle organisms. Notice how the purple Skittles were able to better blend themselves into the environment than the yellow Skittles. In this demonstration, I acted as a predator. Let's imagine that the real reason why I ate the yellow Skittles was because they were easier to see than the purple Skittles. The 10-second eating intervals represented the population's generation, or the amount of time before organisms reproduce. After each 10-second interval, each Skittle multiplied, signifying their offspring. In this example, the purple Skittles had the favorable phenotype, since they could hide better than the yellow Skittles. This phenotypic advantage is known as an organism's fitness, or its ability to survive and reproduce, where it passes its beneficial genes to its offspring. Now that we understand how the basic process of natural selection works, let's review. 1. There is genetic variation within a population. 2. There is an agent of natural selection. 3. The agent acts upon the population. 4. The surviving organisms reproduce. 5. The process of natural selection repeats itself. And 6. The population evolves. And that is evolution through natural selection.